All right, happy Monday, everybody. What's going on out there in the universe? I don't know how y'all are doing. I'm doing pretty good. Had a pretty good week last week. Don't know about you guys, but my week was good. I actually went fishing, which was fun. I caught one fish and got a little sun. You guys can probably see I'm starting to get a little bit of sun, and it's heating up here in the south pretty quick. So summertime is here, babe, and you need something to keep you cool. Just check out some Van Halen and a little bit of Ice Cream Man. You know what I'm saying? So what else is going on? Yeah, I went fishing. Went out with my buddy Brandon, and took me out. Really appreciate that. It's the first time he's been out since his father passed away, so I'm sure it was a bit emotional for him. They used to go fishing together. It's the first time he's been out on the lake in about a year and a half. So I want to thank him again for taking me out. I'm sure it wasn't easy for him. So thanks, brother. And got to go out on his fancy ass fishing boat. He's got like a 21-foot javelin. It's got a big 225 horsepower high output Johnson on it. And so we went 70 miles an hour. It'll go about 80 something, and is what he said. And I can see how, because at 70 it was still picking up speed real well. And so that was pretty exciting. Never been that fast on water, and if you don't know, 70 is fucking fast on the water. So yeah, I caught like a little hybrid bass using a little grub, little crappy jig. So I had a little spinner on it, and it had a little grub worm on it, and so that was pretty cool. Um, we were fishing around a little island there, and there was a bald eagle nest in it, and I'm pretty sure it was just a juvenile bald eagle in that nest because he or she or whatever was having a fit whenever we would get close to that side of the island fishing on it, and it was starting to raise hell, I guess, trying to lure its mama in. So that was pretty cool. Saw that, and big old heron came flying across, and he was pissed off we were fishing in his fishing hole, and so that was pretty fun. Never really seen one flying like that with their neck like all the way straight out, and yeah, it was pretty wild. I used to work with this old guy named Dave, and he always, whenever we'd see a heron, he'd be like, pterodactyl. And yeah, you can see where those things come from. It's definitely a fucking dinosaur. Um, so yeah, had a fishing trip. That was cool. My little car seems to be running better all the time, which is fucking awesome. Excited about that. Um, Still waiting on my distributor, which should really liven that thing up. Instead, it doesn't take forever to wind up. It should tack up pretty quick and make it a lot quicker vehicle. So that's exciting. Um, what else is going on out there? What else did I do this week? Let's see. Let me think here. Let me look at my notes here. What did I do? What's going on? Let's see. I went fishing. That was fucking cool. I watched the Randy Rhodes documentary finally. I know I mentioned it last week. I know I titled that. Nobody checked out that episode. I guess nobody knows who Randy Rhodes is, or was, or doesn't give a shit. But he's one of my favorite guitarists of all time. He was classically influenced. His mother had a music school called Musonia out in L.A., Burbank, I think maybe. And Randy was only 25 when he died. And the documentary is really good. It's not too sad. It just shows his life with Quiet Riot and stuff, because he formed that band when he was like 16. And yeah, he met Ozzy when he was 22. It's pretty crazy to think he was like 23, 24 years old recording those two albums, Diary of a Madman and Blizzard of Oz. And they're seminal records. And if you don't like that shit, then you probably listen to their own podcast if you don't like metal. Come on! Come on! Get your pulls, Dimebag Darrell would say. So anyway, yeah, it was real fucking cool. I really enjoyed watching that. Huge Randy fan. I've been since I was about 10 years old. And I had his poster on my bedroom wall, on my bedroom door, as a matter of fact, when I was just a kid. So finally got to see that. Somebody made a documentary about him. It's the narrator is Tracy Guns from LA Guns. And by the way, that album that they put out with It's a Shame About, or not It's a Shame About Ray, not Jane Says, but The Ballad of Jane, that album is fucking jamming. And check it out if you don't fucking know. And so yeah, I saw on Twitter. I've been trying to get on Twitter and do a bunch of shit on there, trying to drive some of you folks to check out my podcast with any luck at all. Shout out to Julie James Dio on there, actually talking to me on Twitter, which is cool. Um, you know, she's she suffers with depression, according to some of her Twitter tweets, and I've tried to let her know that I too suffer with depression. I have PTSD from the childhood that I lived through, and check out my podcast. Maybe it'll make you laugh. You get to hear me talk about some crazy metal shit, maybe sometimes, or whatever else. We'll talk about politics a little bit, but I'm pretty left wing, so shouldn't make her mad there. I don't hope. I mean, I do own guns, but I'm a Southern boy, and I've had a gun since the day I turned 10. It was a gift to me, and I've never shot anybody. And of course, I leave my guns at home. Don't take your guns to town, Bill. Leave your guns at home. In the words of Johnny Cash. Yeah, people are out of their fucking minds these days, and I still say it's a mental health issue, and we don't take care of our people in this country. Um, my wife's sister's mentally handicapped, and I've seen the lack of funding that goes on, and so I know that it affects people, pretty severely. Anyway, speaking of music stuff, let's get back off of that shit. Let's get back away from that. On Twitter, Rudy Sarzo, there was a tweet out there that somebody had said that Rudy thinks he's an original member of Quiet Riot, and they were being snarky about that shit. And Rudy tweeted out that, he does consider himself an original member, and he has the record contract to prove it, a signed record contract. And, sure, bands have people in them before they become, get a record deal, but once they get that record deal, man, that's the band that everybody knows. And I would argue that without Rudy Sarzo, that band would have probably never got a record deal, because he's that kind of musician, and he lifted that band up quite a bit. And, so there's that opinion. So at any rate, I tweeted out that Rudy Sarzo, my comment to that was Rudy Sarzo is an original no matter the band, and hashtag Cuban Metal Master, and he liked my tweet, which fucking yesterday morning really started my day off on a nice note. That Rudy Sarzo, who fucking played with Randy, liked my tweet. Fucking made me feel good inside. Made me do a little happy dance yesterday morning. So shout out to Rudy Sarzo. I'm assuming he must have been having his coffee yesterday morning like I was, and saw that tweet I tweeted, and that was pretty fucking cool for me. Also, Tim Ripper Owens, I tweeted out, he had sent a thing out talking about what's your favorite Iron Maiden song, and so I responded to that with Running Free, and he liked my tweet. So fucking yesterday was a big heavy metal day for Chrissy Boy here. Very exciting for me. Rudy fucking Sarzo and goddamn Tim Ripper Owens. I mean, get the fuck out of here, man. I never thought that I would communicate with anybody like that. I know it's just a tweet, but still, man, Jesus Christ, I almost had a fucking meltdown when Robert Plant and I were in the same building at the giant ass Dean Smith Center in Chapel Hill when I was 15. I couldn't believe I was in the same building with Robert Plant. I was fucking blown away. And so that was my first concert, and Joan Jett opened up, and I know I've talked about that in earlier podcasts, like the Music Can Save Your Life podcast. Anyway, and I hope this is going to sound better. I'm going to fuck around with this thing. I'm going to try to learn how to put some sound effects in this thing. I don't know. I'm trying to learn how to use all this stuff. It's, I don't have that much, but it's so much more than I realize that it is. And the capabilities within the computer and the interface is, I've got all this shit that I have no idea how to talk to or communicate with at this point. So hopefully I'm going to get there. We'll fucking find out. Like today I'm using my new phone to record this as far as the video goes. And we'll see if it looks halfway decent. I'm sitting in a different spot. I'm taking a little tip from Russell Brand's YouTube. And I'm sitting in front of the window here so you can see the pretty field behind me before they mow it down. And so yeah, just trying some different stuff here. I don't know how this is all going to work out. I'm doing the best I can, and trying to be entertaining, trying to make you laugh, trying to communicate with people, connect with people. it's Monday, so I'll meet with my therapist today at 3 o'clock through video chat, as I do every Monday. To try to make sure I'm not falling off the deep end and staying locked in my bedroom for days in my bed because I can't face myself. What else in the music stuff? Speaking of not being able to face yourself, I saw James Hetfield was having a bit of a emotional moment. He's getting a lot older, obviously. He's older than I am, and I'm 48. And James is starting to doubt himself and his ability to play some of the stuff they played years ago because he's getting older and his hands don't work like they used to. I mean, my hands go numb all the time and have been since I was 17, and I've never been a guitar player. Although I'm looking at a guitar and a banjo sitting over here in front of me, I can't play either one. I do like to pick them up and fuck around with them from time to time. But James was getting a little emotional, and he was talking about it on stage, so I'm getting all worked up and talking about the guys in the band, rallied around him, and they all came out and gave him a hug on stage and told him, if we got your back, brother. If you're struggling with part of the song, we got your back, and yeah, man, it's something people don't talk about. It's, when I was growing up, I remember laughing because I was a metalhead, and I had friends in Chapel Hill that were all, into the hippie music and stuff, and so as a general rule, I had to fuck with them about that. Like, so, thinking about how old Jerry Garcia was and shit, we're talking like in the 88, and looking back on that now, I'm 48 years old, so I'm older than Jerry was then. So that doesn't really, and I don't think I'm that old, but clearly I am. So, funny how time will fucking sneak up on you, man. It goes by really fucking slow when you're a kid because it's such a big portion of your life, I guess. If you've only been alive for 18 years, a month is a big portion of that life. And when you've been alive for 48 years, a month is a pretty short amount of time. Time is relative, as we know, and yeah, fucking wild, right? Yeah, just fucking clicks by, and there you go. So yeah, gonna start trying to learn how to do more stuff with this podcast, trying to make it a little bit more entertaining. I don't know, maybe bells and whistles and shiny objects, man. Fucking shiny objects. Shout out to Tom Bethel, wherever you are there, cat dick. So yeah, let's see what else is happening out there. Yeah, I'm gonna try to maybe break this thing down into actual sections. Maybe talk about what I did in the past week. And talk about some music stuff like I just did. As far as sports goes, the Canes are winning. Do like a segment on, try to get this thing a little bit more formal. We'll see, but I'm not a huge fucking hockey fan because we didn't have that shit down here in the South when I was growing up. I didn't know how to ice skate. Even though I lived in the mountains for a while and there were some kids up there that did know how to ice skate, I wasn't one of those kids. I just kind of, slid around on the ice on the ponds and shit. But, what are you going to do? Not all of us were meant to be ice skaters. I was into roller skating, man. Speed skating and all that shit. I was never very good at that either because I was a short, fucking, fat-legged motherfucker. But anyways, yeah, so talk about my Twitter interactions. I'm going to do a segment on music like I did today. Talking about what's going on. I don't know if any of y'all ever check out Ola England on YouTube. I like Ola. He's a fucking killer guitar player. I don't know how good of a guitar player is. He seems to be a good guitar player. He can definitely rip off some, or not rip off, but whip out some dime-bag licks pretty effortlessly and really has that sound down. So clearly he's a badass because you can't just do that shit without being a fucking savage. But he's funny as hell, and he shows a lot of gear and stuff that I don't know how to use, but I still like to know all that shit because I like fucking music, man. And I would love to be in a band. I'd love to get my buddy Paul Greganti over here. Paul, love to interview you for this podcast if you ever want to, and we can talk about some music stuff, bro. I want you to check out that Randy Rhodes documentary. Tell me what you think. And anyways, yeah. So what else is going on? We got the American flag flying back at the embassy in Kiev, which is great, I guess. I'm still very concerned about all this shit going on over there and what it's going to do with us. We got, shit going on in Somalia and fucking Ethiopia. There's just shit going on all over the world. We're just involved in so much shit. And, we're just stepping on toes all over the place, man. pissing people off. That's what we're good at, I guess. But it was interesting seeing the former, I don't know if he's the former Secretary of State or the current one. He was on Colbert, and the propaganda he was spewing out was pretty wild. I mean, I'm not a Republican by any stretch of the imagination. I'm very fucking liberal. But I find it very strange that, Democrats will put out the same type of propagandic bullshit that Republicans do, instead of just being honest with the American people, instead of trying to tell people what they think they want to hear. It frustrates me. But luckily, I'm not in charge of any of that shit. I don't have anything to do with it. But anyway, Blinken, this dude, Blinken, whatever his fucking name is, he was on there and pretending to play a guitar. It looked like, I don't know, because when he was up there, I sure wasn't hearing him playing, and they just kind of went out with him playing. It was pretty, pretty big stretch to try to show like some Bill Clinton with a saxophone type deal on Arsenio back in the day. Showing my age right now. But I already talked about how goddamn old I am, so it don't matter. But at any rate, yeah, it's pretty wild shit. Yeah, there's so much propaganda going on, and on the news and political shit, and it's just wild, man. It's wild to watch all this stuff. The bipartisan bullshit, everybody hating on each other. It's like, yeah, I hate some of the things that other people believe, and I hate the way that they want to govern, but I don't, want people to be silenced. This is America, man. I don't understand all this censorship and taking away of freedoms, and I don't know, it just seems crazy to me. It's fucking wild. But I've been checking out the Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial. That shit is fucking crazy. Or that chick is crazy. If you don't think she's crazy, I could smell the crazy coming off that chick a long time ago. And she was clearly, obviously, a nut, as far as I could tell. And yeah, if you watch her on the Behavior panel on YouTube, that's the Behavior panel. I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen it, but it's really good. And these cats are all experts in body language and shit, and so it really gives you a good idea of what people are really thinking and doing. So at any rate, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Anyway, I gotta take a quick break here. Maybe I don't know how far I'm gonna go with this today. I don't know what my time is getting up to here. We're up to 18 minutes. That's not too bad, I guess. But yeah, trying to figure this thing out. Next week, I'm going to really sit down and break this thing down into sections and start trying to learn how to operate all this stuff properly, and see if I can start to give us a little bit more entertainment out here, some better content. See if I can start getting some better video footage of this and get it together and get it up on YouTube. I don't know if that'll help at all with getting some more likes and some algorithm moving, but it'd be great if you guys would subscribe to BigChris Cooks. I'm trying to do some more cooking channels or some more cooking videos. I actually just did a video of an unboxing that I forgot to even tell Tanya that I did. So, it kind of helps communicate, because I got to have her to help me do all this shit, because I have no idea how to edit it and stuff, because it's beyond me. I'm still trying to learn how to do all this recording stuff, much less the editing part. So, at any rate, yeah, hopefully next week this thing will be a little bit more professional, and I don't know if I can we'll see how it goes with my editing today. I want to try to get this one up before lunchtime. So I don't know. We'll see what goes on. See if I can figure out how to do this shit, and break it down into some segments and some sounds in there that, like some music breakdowns. I still want Paul Giganti to come, write out a piece of music of some sort and record it down or something, man. Give it to me, and then I can take it and do something and put some words over it, maybe make a theme song. Because I can write some fucking lyrics, Paul, if you'll give me some damn music, brother. I can't write it down for you, like for you to read, but I can certainly come up with the harmony lines and or the melodies and shit, and to your lines, and we can fucking figure it out, bruh, if you get the time. But anyways, love you guys. Thanks for watching if you do, and thanks for listening. All of you guys that are listening. Thanks to everybody out there on Twitter that's been, responding to me and not being hateful, like that one girl that said she didn't sound Southern. Just such strange people. Yeah, people are wild, man. But anyways, thanks again. Love you guys, and subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell, all that good shit. To help my algorithm. Maybe eventually I can turn this into something. Maybe I'll get some interviews. Maybe I can interview some of the people that I'm talking to on Twitter and get them to download the Anchor app. And maybe we can do something like that. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know where this thing is going to go. And far be it for me to try to make it go somewhere. I think I just got to let it flow and go and do what it's going to do, baby. Just make it do what it's going to do. But anyways, thanks again, guys. I'll talk to y'all soon.